Hello and welcome to Witness. I'm Raghi Omar. The caste system was once an immutable fact of life in India, a rigid hierarchy underpinned by the untouchables, a group condemned to subsist on the margins of society. Today, the untouchables are known as Dalits, and discrimination against them is banned by the Constitution, which is not to say, however, that it doesn't exist. Another continuing area of discrimination is against women. In fact, not only is it a curse to be a Dalit, but it is just as difficult being a woman. These are the words of a member of an extraordinary citizens group, the Gulabi gang, which fights for the rights of the poor, Dalit and non-Dalit alike. Gulabi means pink, and the gang's female members are distinguished by the bright pink saris they wear. The Gulabi gang was set up by Sampat Pal Devi, an ordinary mother desperate to tackle the discrimination experienced by women around her. Her activities sometimes put her on the wrong side of the law, but as Ian Pritchard's film shows, her courage and her work are testament to the power of ordinary people to enforce change.
Dawn over the dry lands of Uttar Pradesh, the Bundelkhand where farming is everything. 4 years of drought have decimated the harvest, destroying jobs and livelihoods. A new force is stirring in the face of crisis and poverty. The Gulabi gang, village women determined to fight for their rights. Their leader is Sampat Pal Devi, and their name means the Pink Gang. Their calling card is the Lati, India's traditional weapon of self-defense. In rural areas, women suffer twice, in a male-dominated society and because of their position in the caste system. Their strength is in their numbers.
Can anyone fight alone? Power comes from struggle. Then my battle is not for myself alone. I have seen the pain that women suffer, and they just keep on joining me. Any woman who is suffering is with me. It's their battle. And I am training them, telling them we are losing out because we are women. And men don't let women live a proper life. What happened with my organization was that when we began to get a good crowd of women, I chose a dress for them. I chose a uniform so that when we go anywhere, we look the same. Why did I choose pink? Well, all the other colors, blue, green, yellow, they belong to the political parties. So I chose something different.
Sampat Pal's fighting spirit has brought her influence in the community. When she speaks, local officials take note. She's from humble origins and still lives in relative poverty. Her house is little more than 2 walls, covered with a plastic sheet. But she's become the rallying point for women determined to improve their lot.
My parents didn't send me to school. They were farmers. They sent me to graze the sheep and goats and scare off the birds. I used to feed stray dogs and parakeets. And then I would sit in the road, smooth down the earth like this, and write Ka for kabutar, kha for khargosh, ga for gamla, gha for ghadi. So where did I learn all this? There was a school in our village, and I used to go and peep in and see what was written. Then I would ask some schoolboy, "Brother, what is this? What is that?" They would tell me, and slowly from my own experience I used to practice writing. So I worked out myself how to spell uncle, grandfather. Then I worked out the difference between long and short vowels. So no one taught me. I studied by stealth. Then one day my uncle caught me. So I was squatting like this, and then a shadow came over my shoulder from behind. Then I looked round like this and shot up with my hands over my ears in fright. I was terrified. So my uncle asked, "What is it, tell me?" I said, "I'm studying." "So do you want to study?" I said, "Yes." So then my uncle arranged for my admission to school, and I studied till class 4.
With nearly 2/3 of women in her local villages unable to read, Sampat Pal has campaigned to make education available to everyone.
The biggest problem for women in villages is that there is no proper arrangement for educating girls. When girls want to study, there are no schools. In villages, there are schools just up to class 5 or class 8. If village girls come to senior schools for matriculation in towns like Athara, they are badly treated and bullied by boys. That's why mostly they are too scared to come. So they are badly educated. And secondly, women from the older generation who are illiterate are still victims of oppression. They don't know their rights.
वो आज भी शोषण का शिकार है वो अपने हक को नहीं जानती हैं
Sampat Pal is determined to stand up for all women. She's brought an elderly group to a local clinic to get doctors to verify their age. With no official birth certificate, they've been unable to claim their pension, 300 rupees or around $7 a month for the over 60s. Unlike most village women, she has the confidence to argue with a system that's open to abuse and neglect. When the doctor tells the women they should have come sooner, Sampat Pal's smile turns to annoyance.
Ask her. She was not aware of this scheme. Not at all. She is an illiterate woman and comes from a backward area. There the village headman is corrupt. No government official bothers to go there. She was not aware of this at all. I went to her village and I brought her here.
The woman gets her certificate signed by the doctor. Today, Sampat Pal has helped her and 30 others through the first stages of the pension bureaucracy. They're waiting for her outside the clinic. The pension system is fine in principle, but like so much else in India, it takes an effort to make it work.
All of you open accounts. Go to the bank and listen to me. You have to get correct account numbers for the forms of the social welfare schemes. So all of you put in 100 rupees each and open bank accounts.
The fame of Sampat Pal and her Gulabi gang is spreading. In towns and villages, newspapers now report her exploits. She's not a politician and she's not interested in challenging the authorities, but she is determined to fight for the rights of the weakest in society, and readers seem to approve.
They seem to be trying to get women out of their veils and to get them jobs. They're doing good work for society.
Evidence of the women's growing power came in an incident at a police station in the town of Athara. The police had detained a local man after a popular demonstration and held him without charge for 10 days. When Sampat Pal tried to intervene on his behalf, the police refused to listen. When she returned with her Gulabi gang, they were threatened with violence.
Police officer came towards me to hit me. The moment he went to hit me, I picked up my notebook like this. And when he rushed towards me, I shielded myself with it. Then, when he began to beat me, I threw down the notebook and picked up my stick and hit him 2 or 3 times on the head and said, "Take that. When you don't know the law, then what should I know?" And I don't know the law as such. I know the law, that there are courts and laws, but these people don't uphold them. That's why I keep my lathi. Since then, the police have begun to be scared of me. They don't cause us much harm. They make up with people. People who've been harassed come here every day. And I go to the police and work out some solution with them. I don't have much difficulty with the police.
The Gulabi gang have fought for the rights of the poor to receive subsidised grain rations. The Indian government is providing cut-price grain to feed the population during the current shortage. Those who qualify should receive 15 kilos a month. It's supposed to be distributed by contractors through official state outlets and should sell at half the market price for those below the poverty line. And even cheaper for the poorest, known as Antoyuday, AAY. Ram Swarup shows his ration card, but he says there's often no grain in the government stores.
When I didn't get my grain ration, I complained to Sampat Pal, and she did some investigation and asked why the grain wasn't being distributed. She found it was being sold off on the quiet by the ration shop owner. So, at the rice mill on the Bisanda Road near the bridge, she hijacked 2 tractor loads of grain meant for rations. And then senior officials travelled there together with the police. She handed over the grain to the authorities and it was taken to the police station. And at last we began to get a proper supply of grain.
Building on successes like that, Sampat Pal now tours her Bundelkhand area to ask what problems local communities are facing and to recruit new members for her Gulabi gang. In the impoverished village of Gareria, the women tell her they need a new road, food and work. Sampat Pal invites us to meet the new recruits. Tradition makes them shy and self-effacing, but she tells them to speak out.
Come on, pull aside your veil and talk. Come on, are you mad?
I have 4 children to feed. We don't even have salt and oil. So we begged Sampat Pal to help us.
The men's view of their women taking a prominent role is surprisingly positive.
In these times, it's fine. Earlier, it wasn't okay, but now it's correct.
I feel that if we support the Gulabi gang, there will be great progress in our village.
Now it's correct, because in our village until today, no village headman, Brahmin or low caste has worked for our progress.
Let good come, be it through men or through women. We have to survive. It's not been raining.
Sampat Pal tells the women that campaigning for a new road must be their priority.
This is a big fight. If you all lose interest, it will be a mess. We have to get the road built.
The villagers listen as she tells them the new road will bring jobs and supplies into their community. It will end their isolation and help free them from poverty. She urges the women to march with her to lobby local officials. The meeting ends with a song calling on Indian women to rise up. The women take up the refrain. Wake up, women of India, says the song. The time has come for you to wake up. For too long you've sat at home. It's time to wake up. Sampat Pal is leading a minor revolution in rural India. Her material successes have been relatively small. The much bigger challenge that lies ahead is to change the way society thinks about the role of women in village life.
Join me after the break to witness more of Sampat Pal's unique methods of forcing social change.